What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Wrestling Wednesday. Back to regular schedule. I know we've been on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I was like, this ain't. I know it's unusual, but it was WrestleMania season. The season's over. Don't worry, we're gonna start a new season. So we here. I'm in the building. Will's in the building. Will, what's going on, man?
Not so much. It's been a long day of work. It's been a long weekend of wrestling. And just because we're here on Wednesday does not mean that wrestling has come to a halt. So we got to review everything that happened on Raw after the Mania. It was some pretty explosive things that happened. Some great storyline got pushed. So we here to talk about it. If you haven't already done so, like and share and subscribe to the Wrestling Wednesdays show. And make sure that you support the show as well and bring all of your wrestling interests to the show. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir. Malcolm D's in the building. Good evening, Malcolm. How you feeling, man? So this is the Raw after Mania. Raw after Mania. Usually, it's always the most anticipated shows of the year. So I think it's right that we start off with how the show started, which was obviously John Cena's promo and the things that came from it. Now, with his promo, I have to give John Cena credit because they did this on Friday. I don't remember they booed him on Sunday, but they definitely did it Monday. I appreciate John Cena calling out the crowd for booing Cody Rhodes. Now I get it. That's a international audience. Raw after Mania, before it really became a thing, is a diverse crowd. It's a more so, like I said, very international. Now, when I went to Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania 25, um, I believe I was like, nah, nosebleed. But don't get it twisted. I saw everything, and I didn't miss a step. But um, that was relatively a Houston crowd with a couple of international people there, whereas WrestleMania, obviously, people from around the world. Now that you have a vocal crowd, an international crowd, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, the people we cheer, they like to boo. John Cena is a witness, a walking testimony of that. I appreciate John Cena calling out the crowd for their hypocrisy, but at the same time, you can't tell the fans, the pain fans, how they need to react. That's the only thing I might give the shoot the crowd some bell. But they Cody finished the story. We followed him throughout the whole entire year, and they decided to boo him at the end. So, what do you think about that?
Well, John Cena was right to do so. If I'm not mistaken, when his promo was specifically he's going to destroy wrestling, right? He's going to
Mm-hmm.
ruin wrestling, and that includes calling out the hypocrisy amongst the fans. And Cena is only calling out now what's happening to Cody, what he's wanted to been calling out about himself for the last what 15, 20 years that y'all don't truly like or appreciate Cody Rhodes. You see what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
he's already turned heel and he's already turned the table on to Cody Rhodes. Now he's going to turn the table onto the crowd. It's going to be a hell of a year to see what he's going to do with this heel turn until the end of the year.
Right. And giving what he highlighted yesterday, a couple of days ago, he he has 29, no, 27 dates remaining. Not 27 matches. He has 27 dates remaining. We know he's going to be in Australia later on this year. You can pencil in SummerSlam and Survivor Series. And now I already call this. You could throw in Payback. It's in St. Louis, and RKO picked his spot and got John Cena right where he wanted him. So, in when is May 10th? How many weeks away is that? That is, oh shit. That's only 2 weeks away. So in 2 weeks, you're gonna have Randy on final match against John Cena. What do you think about that? Little nostalgia.
My bad, I was muted. Like I just said in the show that we just did. Long time coming. To great way to take an opportunist moment to really lay in to okay, so you say you're leaving? Well, let me go ahead and let me go get him my fade while you still here, right?
Right.
So yeah, it was definitely exciting.
Yeah.
Especially to see Cena take an RKO.
Yeah, that was the longest setup for RKO. When I seen that shit, I was like, okay. I was like, wait for it, got him. I was like, yep. See y'all in 2 weeks. See y'all 2 weeks in St. Louis. That's what I wanted to see. After I seen that, I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm good right here. It's gonna happen. Now, next up, it's always Vegas. I'm starting to see a pattern when it comes to Vegas and Becky Lynch. She turns heel for some reason. Uh, in less than 24 hours, they lost the titles that they won at WrestleMania. And Becky proceeded to stomp a Moho and Lyra Valkyria. So, because of that ass whooping, I'm looking at Becky challenging for the Intercontinental Championship. Um, but I think 2 weeks is kind of sudden. But then again, so is Randy Orton, but John Cena. But we saw that coming. But what do you think about Becky turning heel 20 in the same city that she did a manhandle slam on Bianca Belair a couple years back?
Well, not to make this whole entire show about John Cena, but I'll just say it like this: Is this the heel? Is this the year of the heel turn? Because we've seen how
Mm.
much being a heel is getting John Cena over. Is this the year where I mean, hell, Roman Reigns just got betrayed. He's already been an anti-hero. It's time for him to turn heel. Uh, Becky Lynch is now turning heel. John Cena was already a heel. The Rock has been playing this whole final boss thing. I think Becky Lynch is just taking advantage of what's already. She's taking advantage of the meal that's already being served to the people. Apparently, they enjoying the meal, right? So, what? Why not turn heel in your hometown, or why not turn heel in an impactful place where you already made an impact in the world of wrestling? I say go for it, but you have to make it work though. You can't be a heel as your regular Becky Lynch. You got to be a heel Becky Lynch. You got to be nasty. You got to be unfair. You have to meet the expectations of what being a heel is. So as long as she stays on that path, she's good. The question is, will the crowd accept her as a heel? That's the big question. The crowd can accept John Cena as a heel. Can they accept Becky Lynch as a heel? That's the question.
Mm, I don't know. I don't think so because well, big time Bex. Um, she was a good heel. I'll say that she was an annoying heel, but she was a good heel.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the crowd is going to appreciate her just like they're appreciating John. We're not there yet, but I think I think it's necessary. And you're talking about stirring up the pot in the women's division. Why not? Because at first nobody didn't think she wasn't forefront about her coming back, which she shouldn't. Now, granted, when I saw that commercial aired at WrestleMania, I was like, okay, she re-signed with the WWE because you're not going to use my likeness after I'm in the middle of contract contract talks or looking to renew it. So when I seen that, I was like, okay, she's in now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the stir that the division needs. The division's better with Becky Lynch in it. Now with her as a heel, let's see where that goes. Especially now that granted we'll find out SmackDown. We don't know what the heat with Charlotte Flair is dying out. So just in case if it dies, now you got Becky Lynch to reignite that fire to keep the fans' interest.
Right.
So that's what I believe regarding that. But shout out to Becky. I do think they're going to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship, but I don't have Becky winning that match. Next up, did you see what Gunther did to Pat McAfee?
Yes, Gunther put Pat McAfee in a whole entire rear naked choke, and it looked at. Okay, we all like a good sale. Nothing like a good sale. This looked at a little bit real though. Pat McAfee was turning cherry red. Like Pat McAfee he's about to he's already as pale as your shirt, but this Pat McAfee was as red as the banner. He was getting some color on him, not color as in blood, but he was definitely getting a little bit of cherry on him.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think, will there be a Pat McAfee versus Gunther match?
With Pat McAfee?
Yeah.
When was the last time he wrestled?
WrestleMania. No, whenever SummerSlam was in Tennessee, that's the last that I'm aware of. He went against Baron Corbin.
I mean, if you can make it work, I say go for it. It's not like you can't do it.
Right. So, because I would think, because SummerSlam is for May, June, July, August, probably 4 months out. So I don't think, because they're still hoping for the idea of Gunther versus Goldberg, which I don't see is going to happen. Well, because I would much rather see Gunther, Goldberg versus Braun Breaker. If they had to do that match, I don't think they're going to be able to do that in 2 weeks. Maybe they can, but there will be a match. I don't want to call it a squash match, because you don't want to diminish the light that is Gunther.
Right.
For Pat McAfee. That's what I think. But what do you think? Do you think you think this match is gonna happen?
I mean, anything is possible. With the degree that they've been going lately, anything is possible. Do I want to see? Hey, Ghost, what's going on? Do I want to see Pat McAfee wrestle? Yeah.
And the other dude,
Ghost. That's Christopher. Well, you don't got the label on, so you don't got the names on.
I want to fight you just on general principle. And I can beat.
Don't mind me.
Ghost. No, that was for Ghost. That was for Ghost.
You want to fight Ghost? Why do you want to fight a woman? Ghost is the woman. Yeah. It's okay.
I know people that can do that.
It's okay. She's built like Jada Parker, so I'm pretty sure you'll lose.
Hey, Ghost, what's your IG?
Don't ask what Ghost IG. Back up, cuz.
You said Jada Parker.
That's none of your business. Let her live, sir.
Uterus. You got a uterus. Okay. All right. My apologies, Ghost. Then the video. Then let me redo this video. This is.
I want to fight you. I want to fight you just on general principle. And I can beat.
Sorry, bro. Can't do that to the supporters. So I'm sorry, Ghost. I will arrange for Cell to take your licks. I'm sorry. No, 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 no. So you see what you did? No,
I
no.
didn't do anything. I didn't do anything, sir. You decided to attack. You decided to attack Ghost, not me.
I'm glad you said ghost. Because I thought you were about to say the F word. I was like, duh, I
Now you
don't.
walking it back.
Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. And you said she looked like Jada Parker. You really ain't shit for that one. My apologies, girls. My apologies. I thought you was. That was my bad. I'm sorry. But the next one is I'm not touching the they're doing I'm not touching El Grande Americano. However, they are going to do a what was that event called when it was NXT versus the entire world? Clash of the Worlds or something like that?
Clash of the Worlds, I believe so, and they're supposed to be doing it with AAA.
For WWE style entertainment.
I'd win.
I got whatever. Hey Raw. Oh, it's called Worlds Collide. Yes. AAA versus NXT. I don't think they're gonna put WWE there, although I saw the logo, but that's just WWE being WWE. But you're gonna get AAA versus NXT. I will pay to see that. I will.
Why?
I would definitely pay to see your greatest luchador wrestlers versus NXT talent who has luchador. I'm not gonna say luchador style, but when it comes to the pace and the pace of the match, NXT can hang with any of those style types of wrestlers. So I'm willing to see that. I will pay to see the outcome of that.
Yeah, with the WWE's acquiring of AAA, you know who's back in the roster now, right? Alberto Del Rio.
I saw something on Twitter that said he got released. Is that true?
Released from who? AAA?
Yeah, let me. I saw this on Twitter, but I never verified it or look it up. Let me see. Uh, Berto Del Rio. Let me see news. Backstage up there. WWE's new deal. Alberto to. Okay, that all right. Then that was just a troll. Good. Yeah, I saw that picture of Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, that puts Alberto Del Rio back in the WWE's clutches.
That was a troll account. All right, cool. I saw Alberto Del Rio. He's been taking care of himself. He has been taking care. He has been finally trimming the body fat that he kept on carrying while he was wrestling. Not to say he was fat, slobbly, or whatever the case may be, but he now finally added definition to him. Now you look like the wrestler or the superstar that Vince McMahon wanted to see back in the day. I do believe they're going to get rid of him because he's too much of a liability based on his track record. Based on his track record, I don't know. The only time I remember him being aggressive was Sin Cara situation.
Which was
Because I think Sin Cara was a bitch, respectfully. Because if he chipped a nail, he wants to call off a match. And I'm talking about the original Sin Cara. I don't know if you guys noticed, they switched Sin Cara. They switched wrestlers. That's the Sin Cara y'all saw during with Kalisto. That was an entirely different Sin Cara. Because the original I'm bitching and complaining.
Just like there was 3 Ultimate Warriors. A lot of people don't know that.
How would you, 3 Ultimate Warriors?
Yes, there was 3 different Ultimate Warriors.
Do tell.
I'll send you the documentary where it shows I know there was 3 different Ultimate. I know there was two, but there was a legendary third. But yeah, from what I understand, there was 3 different Ultimate Warriors. I mean, the thing is, people take up gimmicks all the time, just like when Undertaker portrayed himself as Kane. You know, it's nothing new. You see what I'm saying? But as far as Sin Cara go, like even when you listen to the stars of today talk about Sin Cara, they be like, yeah, the good Sin Cara, not the other one. It's like a running joke.
He's announced CMLL now as Mystico. Oh, probably the original Sin Cara. Jesus. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, fuck the money. I enjoy wrestling, and you want to quit because your fingernail got chipped or you got a little bruise. Get the fuck out of here. So, I think with Alberto Del Rio coming back to WWE, that will be a great fit. I don't. I, I'm a belief. We got to give some of these wrestlers second chance because you're under Triple H, the Triple H era. So what you did during Vince, for the most part, water under the bridge. So I'm willing to give Alberto Del Rio a chance, and he goes by different names. Not Alberto. It's Alberto El Patron. Alberto El Patron is what he goes by now. So we will definitely see. I'm interested in seeing that. I like to see the because like I said, the style and the pace of the match. I would definitely like to see Triple H versus NXT. Now, if Alberto Patron is the heavyweight champion, that means it's going to be him versus Obafemi. And who do we know is going to win that fight?
Obafemi, all day, every day.
It's not even close. And I like Alberto Del Rio. Who knows? They might bring him back just for the sole purpose to adapt him into the Hall of Fame because I think he has a Hall of Fame resume. Yeah, Alberto Del Rio 100% has a Hall of Fame resume. Not obviously not of the upper echelons, but he has enough to get in. That's what I say about Alberto Patron. Before we get to the last one, I want to talk about everybody's issues with The Rock. They're saying that people are getting on The Rock because of what he said on Pat McAfee's show. And what he said pretty much is the reason why I didn't show up to WrestleMania is because, one, I was never planning to go. Two, the storyline was fine as is. And number three, he didn't want to overshadow the John Cena winning number 17. And I totally get it. Fans are mad because they're saying he's giving away too much of the storyline. Can somebody tell me how was he giving away something that we saw coming a long time ago?
Right.
Because
just fans wanted more than what they was given. Just fans wanted more than what they was given.
Yeah, because I did not want to see, although I heard it, but I was hoping for it not to happen, and thank God it did it. I don't want to see The Rock at WrestleMania. And people say, we're expecting The Rock, but you give us Travis Scott. I'm okay with Travis Scott being there. Because his superstardom is not going to overshadow John Cena and Cody Rhodes. And besides, you busted a man's eardrum. You're going to have to come back to WWE and catch that L. Now, I watched that video again and again afterwards, after we talked about it. The way that man landed, I don't think Travis is getting enough credit for how he landed face first.
No, not at all.
Yeah, he's definitely not getting enough credit for that. Shades and all, which, if anything, that's an extra 2 points for having shades on. But Triple H said this. I think during the Netflix press conference, he said our fans are not stupid, so we can pull the curtains back and show what's going on. And I'm on the mindset is like, don't insult my intelligence. I can play along and figure this out and be entertained. Just don't insult my intelligence out right off the back. That's why I don't have a problem with the creative team of doing that. And speaking of creativity, the creative team, you know what's happening in the summertime?
What's happening?
Let me read this real quick. Let's not forget the part where he mentioned that this whole soul thing was last minute just to sell out Elimination Chamber, and there wasn't a planned follow up. I think that angered a lot. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, because even in that press conference, he said he's like to think ahead. So with him thinking ahead, that means you don't know if that comment that he says on these interviews is thinking steps ahead. Now, I would say there needs to be some level of consistency when you go from one interview to another. I'm talking about The Rock at this point now. But if it's a last minute thing, that's fine. That shows a level of legitimacy to wrestling. Is which what I'm looking for is some level of legitimacy. Yes, I know you got your storylines, you got your scripts and all that stuff, but there's always a little hint of legitimacy. Like even Cell said it with Gunther and Pat McAfee. We done seen this pale white boy turn into damn near bloodshot red. So yes, and yes, you can force your skin tone or your pigmentation to change colors like that. I understand that, but he might have been a little bit too aggressive with it, or probably that's Gunther telling Pat McAfee, you belong behind the desk. You don't belong in the wrestling ring as well. But you never know. So I don't have a problem with what The Rock is doing for the simple fact that I saw this coming from months ago. So the ones who are mad are just those who are not just in tune with the with what's going on in wrestling. The Rock didn't know where WWE would go next if he appeared at WrestleMania. It would have Rock going to WrestleMania would have overshadowed it. It will overshadow the main event. And to his point, we need to be there to highlight and celebrate somebody winning 17 championships. So I have zero problem with Rock putting the company before him, and he's making sure the wrestlers get to shine. Uh, uh, Now, to that, do do you know what WWE is doing next with Netflix?
No. What is it? What is they planning?
It's called WWE Unreal. This is where you actually take the cameras behind the scenes and you're actually there in creatives.
Okay.
Now you get to see how do they make these storylines by talking to the writers, engaging with them. Well, not engage the writers engaging with each other to see what direction they want to go with these storylines that are planned out months in advance for the most part. So you say you hate creatives. Now you get to see behind the scenes of what goes on with creators and how do they come to these storylines.
Okay. Slightly interested, but okay. Do I get to interact with them like cuss them out?
No, it's not live.
So it's pretty much just a WWE live stream.
It's more so of a documentary or a new show.
Okay.
I think we could play Netflix trailers. Well, then again, we play
No,
Netflix.
don't play nothing from Netflix on YouTube.
Fair enough.
Yeah, don't play nothing from Netflix on YouTube, big dummy. I got
Oh,
you.
my bad, my bad, my bad.
Yeah, I had YouTube playing in the background on one of my live streams, and I got copyright strike in the midst of my live stream.
Yeah, you got some haters watching you. Yeah, I'd be pissed about that. But let me get back. There we go. But yeah, WWE Unreal, when that drops, because I know Sal's a fan of creators, when that drops, we are definitely going to react. We're going to react to those shows. I can't, like I said, I'll find a way to see if we can bypass certain things and get to play a little bit of it on the show, but that will be till then. But now, last one, Seth freaking Rollins and Paul Heyman. What are your thoughts on the promo from Monday?
So, with all of the charismatic chaos that Paul Heyman has been stirring up with the latest Shannon Sharp, excuse me, with the latest WrestleMania weekend that we just went through. Um, I hope this is not a farce that is just temporarily. I hope this is something that's going to go quite some time, right? I hope this is this like a triple secret agent. Man. I hope it's not like one of those situations. I hope Paul Heyman stay with Seth for a little while. Seth deserves that little Paul Heyman a little bit of rub. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because like we always say, Paul Heyman is a legend in this when it comes to this business. But they can
I'll
do
be right
some
back real
things.
quick.
Huh?
No, I'll be right back real quick, but I'm listening.
Oh yeah, they can definitely do some things. Paul Heyman can really open up some doors for him that I'm not gonna say has been closed, but it's kind of been kind of hard for him to open himself. So yeah, I hope this lasts for a nice little minute. They can take this quite a few places. All depends on how creative themselves decide to use it. Um, that still opens the door for what Paul Heyman has in store for Seth because we got to remember Paul Heyman his character he has went into business for himself before so that's it's gonna be fun to see. I want to see how they're gonna work back in the Roman Reigns angle though. I was glad to see him get portrayed in a way. He looked so pitiful. He looked so terrible. He looked like a child that lost his favorite toy. He was just like laying in there. He looked bad, and I was happy to see him look bad.
The tribal chief slander is unbearable. So, but with that, it's funny you said that. Go back to the promo that Cody cut with Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 39, because everything that Cody said has came true. He said, when you lose everything, Jey Uso's gone, then Jimmy, then Solo, then your wife's man.
Mm-hmm.
And they show all the times everybody leaving to him walking up the ramp by himself at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Now, getting to the next night, CM Punk and Roman Reigns decided to retaliate. Hold on, let me see what Ghost is saying. Uh, TKO Holdings, DMCA struck cellulite mid live stream. What?
Yeah, yeah. It happened. Ghost was there when it happened. I was sitting there just, talking and I had it playing in the background and got me all the way together. And you know what? Because it was nighttime and I would just wanted the camera just on the like it wasn't even no sound playing. The camera was just facing towards the TV and it was just on. And midst of the live stream, it was like, oh, live stream has been terminated for community guidelines or some shit like that. Yeah, gotta be careful with what you say. I mean, what you show from certain outlets.
Well, we can play the audio. Y'all can't take us down. Ha!
There you go.
Well, we ain't playing the music. We ain't playing the music.
No, the music will get you. But as far as like the wrestling noise and the crowd cheering and the bumps and all this and the other, can't get us for that.
Nope. Like I said, well, I bypassed iHeart Radio and WWE by playing the Ric Flair interview on on All World Reaction, which reminds me, as soon as I get something situated. I gotta relaunch All World Reactions channel. But yeah, we just gotta play the audio. Matter of fact, I think we did it here a couple of weeks ago. We played the audio versus the sound. So with um, Roman, he's not alone no more because what this sets up, because Braun Breaker got introduced to the situation, which was a bit left field, but I'm happy for him. I'm trying to figure out how they're going to utilize him because Braun Breaker is eventually going to want the heavyweight title, and if you're trying, especially you're trying to put that on Seth Fix, which is going to set up for those two to go at it down the road. But I do think before we get to all of that, we're going to have a tag team match. I just don't know when. I think Backlash might be a little bit too close for comfort. I don't know what the next pay-per-view is after Backlash, but there's going to be a tag match, and I think they're going to slow roast this storyline build-up between Roman and CM Punk.
Makes sense. There's going to be a tag match. Of course, it's going to be. Well,
Can include
I can
sound.
see CM. I can see CM and Roman. Who would you match up with? Who would you match with Seth?
Braun Breaker.
Not Rusev? You don't think they brought Rusev back for a reason?
Say that one more time.
Rusev. Yeah.
No, because I'm trying to figure out what angle they're gonna go when it comes to Rusev. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Rusev is back in WWE. Rusev attacked. What do you call this group? The Alpha Academy. Why I don't know. Well, we'll find that out next week. But I think Rusev, they're trying to build back his dominance to remind people of who he is. And Rusev is in great shape, by the way. Like I said, just like Alberto Del Rio lost all that extra fat and trimmed himself out and added some definitions. Although, did you see him flex his biceps?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think I was the only one that saw that. I know I was the only one that caught that. I was like, that looks, ew. Like, I started to look at my arm. I was like, hold on, does my arm do that? I had to double check. I was like, wait a minute, maybe I do it and I just don't know. I had to double check. I was like, now my arm don't look like you going up the hill and straight down like a steep decline.
He said, does my arm do that?
I almost got so cautious. I was like, hold on, arm biceps don't do that. They already teased Heyman and Braun when Heyman had him accompany him. Yep, I remember that. And Rusev attacked the Alpha Academy just to look strong. I don't think that really means anything. It might not mean anything in the grand scheme of things. I think they're gonna build off of that for like maybe 2 weeks till we'll see what happens at Payback. But he needed to attack somebody. And attacking the New Day wouldn't really, well, if you're trying to keep him as a heel, attacking the New Day wouldn't make any sense because they're the heels right now. And that might transition the landscape to a different direction. But with this tag team match, going back to Seth and Braun Breaker, because CM Punk and Roman Reigns came to pretty much tax that ass on Seth, but as soon as Roman was about to do something, Braun Breaker came out from the middle of the screen and speared Roman out of his boots.
Completely out of his boots.
Yeah, and I was thoroughly confused. Then when he took off the hoodie, I was like, oh shit. This will work temporary. But it's a cohesive unit that is on the rise. When will Roman Reigns and CM Punk put the differences to the side and work together? That I don't know. Hold on. This sounds like silicone injections into the bicep muscles. If it's distorted as you described, yeah, that. Anyway, you can screenshot a picture of Rusev when he did that. When he showed off his biceps. That well, actually, never mind. We're not gonna torture the audience eyes with that. Forget I said that.
Yeah, let's just move past it.
Yeah.
It was matter. Like imagine Popeye, but it didn't work. That's the best way I can think about it.
That's a good analogy. But I don't know when we're gonna get like I said, I don't want them to oversaturate backlash with a bunch of mid card matches, but that's what it's almost looking like. I do see definitely those in the main event, those two versus Braun and Seth, just so they can get the licks back. Sorry, who would you add to the Seth and Braun stable? I'm just gonna call them Dangerous Alliance 2.0. Heyman said in an interview after May night he's looking to add more clients. That's a good question.
That's a really good question. I was trying to think. I had to come back to you on that one. Who's at the
Yeah,
Hmm.
no, great question, man. Ask us that. I might need another week on that one because on the female side, I was gonna go Rhea Ripley, but I don't know about that one. Who would Paul Heyman work with on this roster? Um, you know what? I can see Dirty Dom being part of that stable.
Who?
Dirty Dom,
Dominic?
yes, I know.
Well,
I'll play it. I'll play it. Y'all. This is sell to me.
I want to fight you just on general principle.
And I can beat you.
Because I would kick your ass in front of
All over the
everybody.
place.
And that's
He's not a Dirty Dom fan, so I just want to put that out there. That was him aiming that towards me, so I understand. But I'll still put Dom on the team because the Judgment Day is going to disband. The Judgment Day is going to disband, and also real quick, let's give a round of applause. JD McDonough is back in WWE. Thank God.
perfect.
Because, like I said, that was a real bad hit that he took to the back of the head, just so he has some punch in lungs. I'm glad he is back. He helped Dominic retain his Intercontinental Championship against Penta. So I'm glad JD McDonough is back. But Judgment Day is going to disband. They're not going to make it past SummerSlam. If I really think in the next 4 months that this group is going to be over. And if the Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker train is still rolling, I expect Dominic Mysterio just to be part of that train as well.
Yeah, and also we got to prepare for the return. If there is a return for let's. I'm going to pray that there is a return of Rey Mysterio, to see where he will fit in that.
A retirement for Hill one more time.
Rey Mysterio.
Over 20 years.
I know.
He should be, but I think they keep him because he keeping the Ray around because he's the only thing that's keeping Latino World Order relevant. But that's just my take. I could be wrong on that. I'm thinking that they can call up and add Fraxon from NXT because Seth trained Nathan Frazier for that team. Paul Heyman's not going to waste the time with them.
Mm. Well,
Paul Heyman.
now that Jay Uso is the champ, does that open up the door for Roman to go after Jay now?
Roman go after Jay.
Yeah.
Oh, to recruit him against Seth and Braun Breaker.
Yes, sir.
Ooh. Ooh.
Are we doing a creative job right now?
Yeah, we are. Hey, creatives, our Cash App is at the bottom. Let me push it down. Cash App, and let me get rid of YouTube.
Right.
Cash App is right there, at the bottom, right there at the bottom, so there is no confusion. There's our Cash App. But I think they're gonna try to have the CM Punk and Roman Reigns team up together to go up against Paul Heyman and Seth with Braun Breaker as an extra. So that's why I'm not gonna put Jay in there yet. I think that's gonna come after both of them get their licks back, but I could definitely see that. I can 100%. I can really, really, really see that. Damn, ask me that again. You person got me thinking. Or Jimmy, but let's talk about that later on because as that is a strong possibility, a real strong possibility. But right now they're gonna say CM Punk and Roman Reigns needs to work together to go after Seth, Braun, and Paul Heyman. So that's where the angle they're gonna go, and that's where they're gonna start heading towards that direction. Let's see if they'll happen on May 10th, which is a probability this match is gonna happen May 10th. And on that, what are we expecting on SmackDown? We'll do. I don't think Cody Rhodes, because although they were still in Vegas, there was Monday Night Raw. I expected to still see Cody yesterday. I didn't. So, has anybody got a Cody Rhodes sighting in the last
24 to 48?
40? Yeah, in the last 48 hours, was there a Cody Rhodes sighting after WrestleMania?
I don't think so. I haven't checked his Twitter to see if he's posted anything. I have to check and see.
Oh, my neck. Yeah, because something's telling me I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. Something's telling me Cody Rhodes is not going to pull up to SmackDown.
I mean, would it hurt him if it did, though? I don't think it would.
No, I don't think so. And pleasantly say he's taking a hiatus, and quite frankly, he deserved it. He's been a champion for a whole year, no days off. So if anybody deserves to take a break, it's definitely Cody Rhodes. Like, I'll take you a couple of months, but get back here because I'm gonna need you to win this title or compete for this title at SummerSlam. Four story reason he should, in my opinion. Okay. But that is my take on everything wrestling, including Pat McAfee stuff. What's your take, man?
I think Pat McAfee should stay as a commentator. Leave the ring to the boys. Don't get me wrong. I know Pat has been in the ring before to do some things, but we just got choked completely out by another pissed off Gunther. So, and then also we gotta look into the fact that Gunther might be a rage and might get that immediate title shot back against Jay. So that could be why he's behaving the way he is.
Or Pat McAfee can interfere in the match and make sure Jay wins that title, which would not be smart on his part. Matter of fact, sorry, I had to turn off the AC. Matter of fact, that would be a bona fide death wish.
Bona fide death wish indeed.
Yep. The Raw after Mania, I'll give it a 7, a solid 7.5. Wasn't too all wowing, but then again, I think what they did was let's not fuck this up. We already got a winning weekend. Let's keep it that way. Let's not go ahead and try something different. as of now, but I'm gonna need them to kick it up a notch next year. I'll give it a 7.5 or 7 for Raw at the minute. I seen better than this one, but but that's just my take. Other than that, it was a great WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania is always the busiest. Well, WrestleMania and Royal Rumble. We'll see what happens with SummerSlam this year because it's going to be too nice. So we'll see what that weekend looks like. But other than that, I had fun talking wrestling, doing wrestlings on outside of Wednesdays, having conversation, letting the panel evolve. And like I said, whenever my life clears up, we're definitely going to be doing watch parties. Not, let me make
Not
this
on
clear.
YouTube.
We're going to do watch parties. We're just not going to watch it on YouTube. You're going to watch us, watch it, and we're going to have live commentary. So let me make that loud and clear before somebody get the wrong ideas and spread the wrong news out there. But real quick NXT news. It looks like they're going to gear up for Joe Hendry to go up against Oberfemi. And as
I
much
like
as
Joe Hendry. I like his story.
me too, underdog story. But you think Joe Hendry is going to beat Oberfemi? You guys got another comment.
No.
And I found out before Stand and Deliver, he went to Alabama and he said Roll Tide. I was like, oh, what did Booker T always say? No bread, no water, just meat. Yeah,
Just me.
that's them Alabama boys. That's Roll
Just me.
Tide. They ladies and gentlemen, they are NFL ready at college stage. And Oberfemi came from that university. Yeah, sorry, Joe Hendry, you're not winning. And I like Joe Hendry. You're about to catch it. You got eliminated by Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. You lost to Randy Orton in 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Oberfemi? Nah, good luck on that one. I always say good luck on that one. Probably should just pick another target, but it is what it is. But Will, man, we did another week, and we damn near did another hour, man.
Anytime we can sit back and we can talk about wrestling is a good time. So that's the way I look at it.
Yes, sir. And I forgot who the gentleman was with us. He said it's hard to catch ourselves because we'd be tuning into he'd be tuning into Dynamite, AEW. So yeah, my apologies. But we're gonna have a AEW. We're gonna talk AEW. You guys have my word. We're gonna talk AEW. We're gonna talk TNA. We're gonna talk all these other promotions since now, especially since WWE is acquiring more promotions, and we're also gonna be reacting to the live reactions whenever we get a couple of things situated. But yeah, Will, it's always been a pleasure, man. Thank you for pulling up, man. I greatly appreciate it.
Always. Now it's time to go to Biddy Body Bye. I will holla at y'all next week, Crystal J. I will holla at you later, big homie.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling Wednesdays. Will, Crystal J. See you guys next week. Peace out.